The 14th Amendment, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. That's the 14th Amendment. Isn't it interesting, John, that the states just don't give a damn about the 14th Amendment? John? Johnny? Check. Anyway, as John is screening caller, I want to make this abundantly clear. Your rights, doesn't matter if it's a state, doesn't matter if it's a locality, it doesn't matter if it's the federal government. These rights were given to us by our Creator. No one, no human being, nobody can take them away from you. The only person that can take them away from you is you or God. That's it. That's it. It's very, very interesting that people these days feel very helpless and think that they don't have any power. But they do. You just choose to give it up. And it's a choice. It really, truly is a choice. There was a time when, and I'm going to bring this law up, North Carolina. North Carolina has a law, statute, 20-16.3a, checking stations and roadblocks. It says a law enforcement agency may conduct checking stations to determine compliance with the provisions of this chapter. If the agency is conducting a checking station for the purpose of determining compliance with this chapter, it must designate in advance the pattern both for stopping vehicles and for requesting drivers that are stopped to produce driver's license, registration, or insurance information. Operate under a written policy that provides guidelines for the pattern, which need not be in writing. The policy may be either the agency's own policy, or if the agency does not have a written policy, it may be the policy of another law enforcement agency, and may include contingency provisions for altering either pattern if actual traffic conditions are different from anticipated, but no individual officer may be given discretion as to which vehicle is stopped, or of the vehicle stopped, which driver is requested to produce driver's license, registration, or insurance information. If officers of the law agency are operating under another agency's policy, it must be stated in writing. Blah, 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 blah. Law enforcement agencies may conduct any type of checking station or roadblock as long as it is established in accordance with the provisions of the U.S. Constitution and the Constitution of North Carolina. Oh, the whole idea of having a checkpoint is against the U.S. Constitution. It's our right to be able to travel freely. So I went down and I talked to the sheriff. And, well, let me just say this, my friends. My sheriff is a loss. An absolute loss. Because even though he took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, he didn't care about the Constitution of the United States. He cared about North Carolina law. And the fact remains that the Fourth Amendment is incorporated. It does apply to the states. And that this law, even though in his own words, man, this law's been it's been a law now for almost 100 years. Is that right? Does that make it right? Because it's been a law for 100 years? That's okay? And yeah, he also, yeah, my wife just gave me, he said he didn't care about the Constitution. He cares about, the state statutes. And that was what was important to him. I'm not saying that he meant any ill will, and I'm not saying that he thought he may be totally ignorant of the fact that what he's doing is blatantly illegal. But I did a little research into this. Now, there were 9 other times that these roadblocks or check stations, and this just is in North Carolina, were brought to the U.S. Supreme Court. And all 9 times they were upheld. They were upheld. Why? Because safety trumped your rights. That's why. Safety trumped your rights. And the interesting thing is, both the dissenting side and the justice that argued for upholding it, both said they understand that this violates the Fourth Amendment, but, since when did the Supreme Court of the United States get to just trash the U.S. Constitution? I mean, yes, they've done it through the years, don't get me wrong, I understand that. But, I mean, this is crazy. This is nuts. So, no, and John, no, I didn't mute you. I don't know what the hell happened, but you're back.
I'm back. Well, my computer seems to be possessed tonight. It's probably got some CIA problems in it. Don't worry, guys. I'll get you back that gay porn here real quick. I've got a show to do.
They like that stuff. So anyway, that's where we are in this country. You've got a lot of people that don't understand the Constitution, what it really means, and or they just don't give a crap about it. Yeah, that's right. It's like my wife said. It's hard to understand for these people the difference between natural rights and legal rights. Now, my wife just so happens to be a descendant of John Jay, the first Supreme Court Chief Justice. So it's actually kind of cool, if you know what I mean. Good old Mark Schmuckatelli over here has a wife that definitely follows these topics carefully because it's part of her heritage. It's part of all of our heritage. So, very, very interesting topic. But yes, so everybody understands, yes, the Bill of Rights applies to the states. They apply to the states. And that's it. Now, it wasn't originally intended to be that way, but over time, and because of the 14th Amendment, it holds their feet to the fire. And that's where we're at now. So let me go to the phones. I've got Jeff in Kentucky. Jeff, you're live on the air. Go ahead, buddy. Jeff, do you hear me?
Yeah, hello?
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah, I just wondered if you thought what President Obama's recent actions, like, drones, airplanes with nobody flying them, going and killing people in Pakistan and things like that. If he's pulling these stunts to get reelected, and I don't know what his gun law stance is, but can you enlighten me on either of those two opinions?
Well, sure. He hates guns. That's number one. I mean, he's a leftist, so he doesn't want guns in your hands. That's just the way it is. The leftists, the socialists, the people that claim to be the defenders of your rights, of your that's why they call them liberals, because they want you to. They say that they want you to have your rights. We'll spend your money, but we want you to have your rights. You can watch your porn and do whatever you want to do. No big deal, no sweat. But just give us your money. But no, they do not like you to have guns. And that goes for Obama and most of the leftists out there. Now, the other thing about the drones, I mean, it's a gross, violation of other countries' sovereignty. That is not our place to be the policemen. That's what they say, policemen of the world. It's not policemen. We're the tyrants of the world. it's kind of funny, you know, the Bible speaks of the United States. If you go into biblical prophecy, it actually talks about the United States, and it describes it as the beast that speaks like a lamb, or has the horns of a lamb, but spake like a dragon. Meaning that, oh, we come in peace. We want democracy for everybody, for all. But the actions are totally different from that. It's, we want to force our will upon you, and we're going to take what we want, and we're going to do whatever the hell we want to do, and screw you and your borders. And that's what it all comes down to. And that's the way that we're acting right now. I had the opportunity to serve in the military. I did 6 years in the military, and when I did that, I thought I was doing a great thing. You know, I'm fighting to defend our freedom. Am I? Is that what it is? Is that what we're doing? John, do you have anything to add on this?
Yeah. Obama doing all this to get elected? I don't think so. Ask yourself this question. What promises or promise did he keep from when he started his election until the time he got elected? Can you name any? Can you name more than one on each one on your hand? Can you get three? Well, he knows he's doomed.
Obamacare.
Okay, there's one. Okay, that's it. Have a nice day. He knows he's got about a snowball's chance in hell, folks. So
you know what, John?
he just threw Israel under the bus and told them to get back behind the line that they drew in 1967. And as we spoke earlier, Joe, you said Netanyahu's pissed. Well, guess what? He's coming to Washington to spank some ass.
Yeah, but let's flip it around a bit. And Jeff, thank you very much for the call. I really appreciate it. Let's flip this around a little bit, and let me play devil's advocate here. You say there's not a snowball's chance in hell to get elected. I say that there's a snowball's chance in hell. As a matter of fact, it's the other side. It's the guys like Ron Paul and everybody else, even Mitt for Brains Romney.
No, wait a minute.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that I think they're the ones that have the hill to climb. Why? Because even as much of a scumbag as Obama's been, and he's been a scumbag puppet. His strings are pulled by his puppeteers. All I can say is his approval rating is still at 46%. Why? Why is that, John? Why is it still at 46%?
Because the mainstream media is the ones that are doing the polls. But before I toss that back over to you, Joe, I think we're both right. But I said elected, not appointed. Our elected officials at the higher levels are not elected. Once you get up above congressman and get into the senator, or you get into the president of the United States, you're not elected. If you're awake enough and you know that, they're not. They're appointed by the shadow government and the powers that be. That's why they go to those Bilderberg meetings, so they can kiss ass and figure out who's going to be the next puppet.
Yeah, but think about this, John. Everybody that gets an entitlement, everybody that gets a handout, everybody that gets unemployment benefits, anybody like that wants Obama, man. They want him back because he's the only one that's going to keep the train going. Now, don't get me wrong. The other side's just as guilty. And, John, I'm getting a word of advice from Rusty in the break out some duct tape and tape the microphone to your head so it's not going the whole time.
I got my gain almost off.
No, it's when you move your microphone, bro. It's going. There you go. But anyway, even at his lowest point right now, he's still about 46%. So right off the bat, being as bad as he is, he's at 46%. Where was George Bush when he left presidency? Like 25? You know, and he was a scumbag too. As a matter of fact, I didn't think we could get any worse. Holy crap! Oh my God! So I mean, it's crazy, but anybody challenging Obama for the presidency is going to have a tremendous hill to climb.